Senator Heitkamp.
Run through this quickly. Can we be effective in any kind of sanction policy or regime without total cooperation from China? Yes or no?
Look, I think total cooperation from China is key. Can we be effective? Absolutely.
But I'm saying, now I'm going to
Yes.
get to the point. Does the United States and the United States government and the Chinese government have identical or at least wildly similar goals in dealing with the Korean Peninsula?
So I think we do have broadly similar goals.
What would those be?
The Chinese government wants to see a denuclearized Korean Peninsula. That is one of their main key objectives. They also want there not to be chaos, war, and war on the Korean Peninsula for obvious reasons. It's right on their border. But their main goal for the current process is to denuclearize and rid the Korean Peninsula of those programs.
If that's true, then why isn't the Chinese government doing everything that it can to achieve that goal?
Well, I think that they've done a lot.
No, I'm talking about, full-on maximum effort, maximum restrictions on trade, maximum restrictions on doing business with North Korea. Why, if that's true, then why hasn't the Chinese government exerted the kind of authority and force on a diplomatic and on a sanction regime that would achieve that result?
It's hard for me to get exactly to inside what their policy process is and what they're thinking, but what I would say is that the calculus that they have about the line between war and chaos and getting to denuclearization might be slightly different than the line that we have, and that they seem to prioritize very much the the economy of North Korea is dependent on China, and so they have said that they want to make sure that the people of North Korea are not adversely affected. And of course, we don't want that either, but they seem to have a different calculation about that, is how I would.
I think that's the ultimate challenge here going forward, which is finding parallel purpose with the Chinese in achieving this result and having a coalition of, extreme willingness to actually do everything that we can to achieve that result. And short of that, I guess, Secretary, short of that kind of collaboration and cooperation, how is this going to work to actually change behavior in North Korea?
Senator, of course, we are intent on working very closely with the Chinese to make sure that they are likewise maximizing economic pressure. We're in very regular discussions with them. We've seen some recent steps that they've taken that suggest that they are increasing the economic pressure that's going to be brought to bear, but we're monitoring it very, very carefully. And I think the authorities that we now have in the executive order also send the message that if countries, any country doesn't take this as seriously as we think that they should, then we will not hesitate to act. So it's partially working closely, coordinating, carefully collaborating as we are doing, but also sending the message that the President has sent, that Secretary Mnuchin has sent, that we're constantly sending, that where we think it's warranted, we're gonna continue to up the pressure.
If the Chinese government did everything possible, economically, with sanctions, with trade, with relationships, would it effectively achieve a deterrence from further progression in North Korea to acquire a nuclear weapon?
Well, Senator, that's the strategy. Time will tell. What we're trying to do is change the strategic calculus of North Korea, and we have to do that in concert with all of our partners around the globe. I can't tell you that it's going to change the calculus, but I can tell you that that is our ultimate objective, to achieve a denuclearized peninsula by changing that calculus.
And you believe that's the Chinese ultimate objective?
I can't speak for the Chinese. I can just tell you that they are working intently with us on this urgent matter.